control account. And you remember we were discussing contra entry. Yes, in this module, we will discuss a scenario on this contra entry, which will give us more confidence on this topic. So contra entry is, in fact, the entry that appears in debtors ledger as well as in the creditors ledger. So it affects opposite or in reverse order to both the ledger accounts. Okay? It behaves oppositely. So it decreases debtors balance as well as it decreases the creditors balance. This is contra entry. Let's discuss a scenario on it, that there might be a situation that a person who is debtor, means customer of the entity, is also a creditor, means supplier of the entity. Okay? There are chances that you are buying supposedly tires from a company for manufacturing or as a part of your car, that you are manufacturer of car, and that company from whom you are buying tires, you are selling cars to that same company. Okay? So when you are selling cars to that company for their employees, supposedly they are purchasing 10-20 cars from you, so they will become your customer, and when you are buying tires from that company, they will become your supplier. So a same person can be supplier as well as customer for the entity. But the thing is, amount outstanding could be different. So for example, Mohsin is debtor with 700 rupees and Mohsin is also creditor with 500 rupees. Okay? In this case, contra entry would be required to set off these two balances. Okay? So the catch is that there is 700 receivable from Mohsin and 500 payable to Mohsin. So what we will do, contra entry is always recorded with lower balance. Remember this thing. And the lower balance is 500. So the contra entry would be debit, creditors control account, and credit, debtors control account with 500. Okay? Well, so remember, in this situation, Mohsin was debtor with 700 and he was creditor with 500, and we passed accounting entry with 500 for contra. What if Mohsin is debtor with 700 but Mohsin is creditor with 1000? Now tell me. Yes, written in front of you, 700 is lower, and the accounting entry, the same accounting entry, debit to the creditors and credit to the debtors with the lower amount, which is 700. So this will be appearing in the debit side of creditors control account and credit side of the debtors control account, being contra entry. It is also known as set off or transfer of balance. Well, so the important tips to remember in this module are that contra entry is passed in both accounts, debtors and creditors, and contra entry is passed in the side which is opposite to the side of its nature. Okay? For debtors, the side of nature is debit. It will be appearing in the credit side. For creditors, side of nature is, yes, credit. And it will be appearing in the, very good, debit side. Great. So, contra entry is passed with lower of the two outstanding balances, as we observed. Okay, that lower was 500, we passed accounting entry with 500. In the second scenario, lower was 700. Regardless, that lower amount is representing debtor or creditor. We will pass this contra entry with lower amount. Thank you very much.